Okay, in this video, we're going to address the procedures. Often from time to time, I get people who want to know the process and next steps available. So just to give you a quick overview, you can always access buying process on the route, and this will kind of give you an explanation of what we do. But to give it to you verbally, basically, whenever you're ready to speak with the seller after evaluating the business online, as far as the frequently asked questions we have in place, or you've spoken to us on the phone, the next step would be to sign a non-disclosure. And also we require some type of financial documentation. Now, if the route's a cash deal, we're going to need to see funds that you have the ability to purchase for the entire amount. If the company is offering financing, then we just need to see what the minimum amount needed down. So if it's $33,000 down or $45,000 down, you would just have to show documentation, basically stating that you have the ability to purchase with that money. As far as what we require, that's totally up to you, whatever you're more comfortable with providing. Some people send a simple letter from their bank that says, hey, I have X, so-and-so has X amount available in an account for purchase. That's sufficient. Other people will do a quick printout of an online statement. Usually these online accounts don't show any sensitive information like account numbers, things of that nature. But if they do, feel free to cross them out or black them out. We obviously don't need to see sensitive information. Once you send that over along with the non-disclosure, we will put you directly in touch with the seller immediately. We will send you some type of financial report or documentation from the company that shows or basically addresses how we came to the numbers being represented. We also, on a side note, require all financial due diligence to be done between the buyer and seller. So once we get to this step, we, just for liability purposes, we want you to verify the accuracy of the seller's representation. If you are working with like a business partner and you don't necessarily have the funds available on account, contact us by email or phone and we can address this. There are ways we can kind of confirm that you have the money available to purchase, and we'll send you the proper documentation for this as well. Once we get to that step, we recommend you contacting the seller once we get that information in your hands. From there, you can set up a time to either meet and see the route in person, kind of get a hands-on feel for what the business entails. Meet them at a coffee shop, look over some more financial documentation, or just simply have a conversation with them on the phone with some additional questions that maybe we weren't able to answer. Once the face-to-face meeting is complete, you can feel free to make an offer. If this is something business of interest to you, we ask that you do not talk selling price or negotiate with the sellers. They obviously have an emotional attachment to that business. You obviously have an emotional attachment to your money. We like to kind of be the mediator and kind of make the process go smooth, so there's no incidental insulting of each other or misrepresenting the facts. So at any time during the process, you can make an offer, whether that's a soft offer before you meet the seller. We don't have a problem with that, but most people will make that offer once they evaluated the business in person. Once we have a meeting of the minds verbally, we will execute and put that in a purchase agreement. We will send over a purchase agreement and require a good faith deposit in an escrow account. Now that money is 100% refundable if for whatever reason the company doesn't approve you, if you're not approved for financing, if financing is a factor. And we also give you a 10-day inspection period of the business. So, that gives you a chance to review more financial documentation, evaluate vehicles, territory, company contracts, things of that nature. If at any time you within that 10-day period you see something that kind of throws a red flag and you're no longer interested in the business, again, your money is 100% refundable so long as it is within that 10-day inspection period. Again, real similar to purchasing a home. If you've ever done that, you will get a 10-day inspection period usually to inspect the roof, the plumbing, the electric, things of that nature. Once we have the good faith deposit and money and signed executed agreement, we will put you in touch with the company district manager or team manager for an interview for purchase approval. Those are pretty much the steps. On average, to get to a closing, once we have the final paperwork in and we get an approval from the company, some of the bread routes are taken on average to 6 to 8 weeks. Some of the Snyder's pretzel routes at this time are taken around 90 days. Pepperidge Farm seems to be a little bit slower in the process as well. So they're all a little bit different, and we will consult with you on an individual basis on that time frame. This concludes the buying process. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email us.